another episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and sometimes crochet and books and TV and movies and life and general chatty things that I want to share with you. So, thank you very, very much for choosing to watch this video and spend a little bit of your time with me. I hope that you enjoy it. Please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage, and let's have a lovely visit. So today, I am having not tea, but I'm having a cold San Pellegrino blood orange soda. It's delicious. Yeah. Let's get started. It has been a huge week for me. Very, very busy and full of lots of things. And personally, many of them were good things. A lot of family time this week, which was great. My sister came for another visit. She stayed overnight again and was here for 2 days. We had a lovely time, and then, like a couple days after my sister was here, my aunt and my uncle came for a visit, and we spent time with my parents. We went to visit my sister and I went to visit my parents too. So yeah, parents had like a bumper crop of visiting this week, which I'm sure was really fun for them. And it was great for all of us too. Before a visitor comes, there's always lots of little things and details that you want to do and do the best you can to make things the way you want them to be. I have been doing still some knitting. The Etta summer top, summer tee is back on the needles. Here we are. The body is getting still longer. I'm sure it doesn't look to you very much different. But I have done the first set of increases for the hip shaping. So we've gotten fully past the waist area and the hip shaping has begun. This is what is left of the third ball of this yarn. This summer shirt was designed by the Barocco design team, and it's the Etta, and it was designed for this particular summer yarn. The name of this line of Barocco yarn is Summer Sesame, and it is a blend of cotton, acrylic, and a little bit of nylon. It comes in several different colorways, but this one was the one that I really liked when I saw it at the store. I'm really enjoying knitting this summer top, and I should have it finished in time to wear it a couple times before it turns to fall. And let's get going on books. I have been doing a little bit of reading Not a lot of reading though. So I haven't finished anything. I'm still continuing on the same books, and I will review them for you. Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. And hopefully there's not a lot left. Hopefully I'll be able to knock it out in the next week. But it is a wonderful book. And the book that I read the most of in this week was The Tiger Flu by Larissa Lai. And oh my goodness. I got to chapter 31. And let me tell you, the weirdness and the like, what is going on ness stepped up to 11 out of 10 in that chapter. I kind of picked this book up out of curiosity because I read a couple reviews. I think somebody in my Goodreads feed read it, and then I read a couple more reviews saying how just really beyond weird and just out there this book was. And so I was curious, and I'm like, I do like some weird, so I'm like, we'll see if it's my kind of weird. Let's see what the weird boundaries are. And so far, definitely strange things, and definitely like, wow, not fully, not having things fully explained, and some like, oh really, we're going there kind of stuff. But I kind of have been, yeah, this is really pretty weird, but it doesn't feel extreme. I've read some kind of odd things before, and this doesn't feel like it's that much beyond some of the other unusual things. But oh my goodness, chapter 31, it was like, I just put the book down. I finished the chapter, put the book down, and literally had to type an update in my Goodreads to what, like, where I had read to, like, percentage, and then I never make a comment when I update how far I am in a read, but I had to make a comment this time. And it was like, what the ever loving question mark like, it blew past all my expectations of strangeness. And from the beginning, there's been a little bit of like, they have a tea that is like kind of medicinal, but also kind of a drug, like hallucinogenic properties, and makes you forget things. So some psychoactive drugs have been in the book from the beginning, but there was a lot of psychoactive drugs, and that chapter was a major psychedelic trip. And it put things together in the plot in a strange way, but also you're not sure what you can trust because it is a drug-fueled psychedelic fever dream. And I was not fully prepared. But it makes me excited to see in the following chapters how much of any of that gets confirmed or explained. And I really don't know what to expect going forward because things really went down. And I'm not sure what went down, but it was a lot that went down, and I think the rest of the book is going to be trying to catch up. And then I've been continuing in the audiobook of Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and I'm still really, really enjoying it. So I'm really glad I finally started with Robin Hobb. And because there is a little bit of a theme, I want to mention something about the magic in Assassin's Apprentice. There are like 2 forms of magic, and one of them is kind of like telepathy with humans and telepathy and mind powers. But there's another kind of magic where that person can share their mind and like join minds with animals and communicate mentally with animals to different, like to where they even become so bonded, they become like a unit. And one of the other characters warns Fitz that is a danger of the animal communication or animal mind sharing magic, and that's why nobody should use that magic, and he should just stop it and never use it because it will he'll lose his humanity and he'll go down a dark path, becoming more and more animalistic. So that is really interesting. And the idea of communicating with animals or talking with animals or understanding animals is a really fun idea, and I really like it because I am an animal person. I grew up with pets, and we had a dog and a cat growing up, and then I've had other cats. I haven't had other dogs in my life, but I have had other cats. So I love animals. Cats are a favorite, but dogs are wonderful too. And just animals in general. I think animals are pretty great. And so I do have a special affinity for cats. I am, not like, I don't have a house full of cats. I have 0 cats right now. But in my head, in my spirit, I am the crazy cat lady, even though I don't physically have all of them, but I do love them. And my sister and I share cat videos to cheer each other up. Like, we'll send super cute or super funny cat videos to each other, or puppy videos, kittens and puppies or cute little bunnies. We'll send cute little animal videos, but a majority of them are cat videos to each other, just to bring a smile and, you know, cheer each other up. So I would love to ask you, are you an animal person? Do you have pets? If you do have pets, what kind of pets do you have? I'd love to talk about animals and pets in the comments, so go ahead and leave a comment, or about your books or craft projects, all those kind of things. I would love to chat with you about all of that in the comments below the video. But yeah, we, in any of the videos that I've made, I don't think I've really done any pet talk. So it'd be fun to chat about our pets this time. I do have a little bit of kitten fever, because I mentioned that currently, and for about the last year and a half, there's been no cat in the house. So I have planned at some time to have another cat. But there are some things that I want to happen first. So I'm not quite sure I am ready to take that step right now, but I am feeling the kitten fever. I don't have baby fever. I've never been one to get like baby fever, but I do get kitten fever occasionally. And when it is time to get a cat again, my actual plan is I want to get 2 sibling kittens from the Humane Society, or, you know, the pet rescue organization. So I do want a pair of kittens sometime in the future. I do have a point. There is a point. I'm trying to weave this theme all the way through. So this kitten fever brings me to a couple of books that have very recently arrived in my mailbox. I do occasionally order books. I don't talk about every book that comes into my home library. I have shown a few, but not all. And that's just because I don't want to focus on, in the videos, I don't want to do like a dedicated haul video, and I don't really buy enough to do like a big haul video that would be more than like 3 or 4 minutes. So, and I just don't feel comfortable having that much of a focus on acquiring things and books. And I'm not trying to be secretive about it, and I'm not trying to pretend that I don't buy books, because I do buy the occasional book. It happens. I just decided that this might help my kitten fever. These are 2 books translated from Japanese, and they feature cats. And look at these super adorable cat covers. I won't lie, that's part of what brought these books to my attention, is because these covers are so sweet. And look at that face. Look at the face. And it looks like a painting, and I like that. And this looks like a painting too. And look at that sweet black cat. I do like black cats. We've had 2 black cats in our family. One when my sister and I were young, and then the cat that is living with my parents is another black cat. So I think black cats are really sweet. And this book is The Guest Cat by Takashi Hiradi. I'm sorry about the bad pronunciation. Hiraide. I should have checked what the correct pronunciation is, and that was my fault, and I'm sorry. Let's see, who translated this? Translated by Eric Selland, and it is mostly about a couple, but they end up, a cat just kind of comes into their lives the way, a cat will. Sometimes you adopt a cat. Sometimes the cat adopts you. So this cat just kind of decides to come into their home and say hi, and I want to be here. I want to live with you. And they're like, okay. So this cat just comes into their lives, and they decide to keep the cat and let the cat be at home with them. And they are both, I think, middle-aged or late middle-aged, been married for a really long time, and things are just kind of, they're in that kind of middle-aged doldrums, and they're not communicating like they were earlier in their relationship, and things are just kind of really stale. And the cat kind of gives them something to talk about and starts to, bring them maybe a little bit closer, and also just help them see the world a little fresher, and liven things up for them a little bit. So I am really looking forward to reading this, and it's really short, but I do love a novella. I've learned that in the last couple of years. I love a good novella. And this is another pretty short novella. This is The Traveling Cat Chronicles by Hiro Arikawa. Translated by, let's look it up, Philip Gabriel. I love this cover. I love the Japanese style of painting. I love the watercolor paintings, and these covers just make me so happy. This actually is from the point of view of the cat. The whole novella, the cat is who is telling the story. And the cat is going on a road trip with his human companion. Or, the human would say that he owns the cat. But yeah, so cat is going on a road trip and visiting old friends of the human companion. And the cat doesn't really know why they're taking this trip. But there is a reason. I'm not fully sure what the reason is. I haven't wanted to spoil myself. I do know that this book, some people consider it sad and maybe have shed a tear or two. I have had it spoiled. I wanted to know because I did not want to read this book if the cat dies at the end. So I did want to spoil at least that much. And so I can say that the cat is not dying or dead at the end. But yeah, there is a reason. It's revealed through the story. But I am excited to read this. And it's fun to read, like, from an animal point of view. I can think of some other really good books that I've enjoyed, told from an animal point of view, like Watership Down, The Rabbits. Yeah. Do you enjoy reading, like, animal point of views or talking animals? There are some books, like in Narnia, there's talking animals in the Narnia series. I'm trying to think of some adult books that have talking animals. There are some fantasy books that have, like, talking dragons and talking magical animals. Right now, the only thing that's coming to mind is a book that I learned about recently, which is a Russian classic called The Master and Margarita. And there is a talking cat in that book. It's a very early magical realism novel. And there's an important character that is a talking cat. So, how do you feel? I know not everybody likes talking animals. But yeah, do you have any books that you have enjoyed with either an animal point of view or talking animals or a talking animal? I'd love to hear about it. That's better. My throat was getting dry. Let's see. Let me check my notes real quick. See if I've forgotten anything that I really, really, really wanted to talk about. Oh, yes. Another reason that made me want to share about these two Japanese books is that August in Book World is Women in Translation Month. And The Traveling Cat is by a woman author, and it has been translated. I don't think that is the case with the other book. I mean, it's translated, but I'm not sure if the author is a woman. I don't read very much translated fiction. I'd like to do better about that. I'm really interested. I've become recently, in the last couple of years, very interested in Japanese fiction. Yeah, I loved Kitchen last year by Banana Yoshimoto, and I've got a couple of titles that I know my library has from other Japanese authors that I am looking forward to reading. But yeah. Okay. We also, here in the Pacific Northwest, made it through that heat wave at the end of last week. It is much more comfortable now. Yesterday it was still pretty hot, but it's a lot better today. And so weathered that heat wave pretty well. It did mess with my sleep. I don't feel like it was quite as bad sleep-wise as the last one. And it did not get above 100. It didn't even reach 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was a heat wave, but it was not as extreme a heat wave for us. I mean, I know there are places in the world that regularly get to 100 or above 100 degrees, but not here in the Pacific Northwest. We are not prepared for that. We're not acclimated to that. So for us here, 100 degrees Fahrenheit is pretty extreme. But along with the heat wave, we have had like 3 days of really, really smoky haze. The air quality never got too terrible, like where they were recommending don't go outside, but it did it was not good for people with people that were sensitive to air quality, like with respiratory conditions like allergies or asthma or any kind of respiratory health condition. So yeah, the mountain disappeared. Usually when the mountain here disappears, it's because of clouds. But this was just pure smoky haze. I hope that if you are in a hot zone with heat waves or fires or smoke, any of that, I hope that you are safe and taking care, stay hydrated. And I've been really focusing on hydrating myself. Yeah, so take care, and I look forward to talking to you again. I hope that we can chat about fun animal topics in the comments, and talk to you next time. Bye-bye.